Hey guys, Corey here on the Hip Kit Club YouTube channel with a scrapbook process video for you. Today I'm actually doing a main kit only page and I'm using the June 2019 main hip kit. And so I actually all my supplies are already mixed together. So I went through and I pulled out the things that came in the main kit. The only thing that I'm not going to be using are the die cut pieces, so I didn't pull those out, but there are die cut pieces. So everything else I'll be using today. So I pulled everything out and I'm just going to go through. So I don't have a die cut machine, and actually I don't even have a star punch with me, but I wanted to use stars on this page. So I was like, oh, I should be able to just freehand cut them. So I tried one and it came out terrible. I don't even know what that shape is. That's not a star. It's just awful. And then I realized if I just drew a star onto the back of a piece of paper and cut it out, then the side that I would want to cut would be there. So I was like, oh, brilliant. I'll just draw them and trace them, or basically draw a star and then cut around it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go. What's even worse is I thought that it would be easier to cut one and then use it basically as a template. Yeah, whatever. That was not easier. I really found out pretty quickly that if I just drew it on there on the side that I didn't want to use, then I could easily have the side I wanted to use without lines on it. So it took me a minute, but I finally figured it out. Of course, while I'm cutting all these, I'm kind of like kicking myself in the butt for having sold my silhouette forever ago. It really would make these types of things a lot easier, but at the time, I thought that maybe I would never ever scrapbook ever again, and we were downsizing houses, and I didn't have a scrapbook space anymore, and I was like, you know what, I don't need this. I'd rather have the $100 or whatever I sold it for. So there's my story on my die cut machine. Now I'm just too cheap, and I won't buy another one, and I still don't have any space for it, so that helps too. Anyhow, so I'm just going through, I'm hand cutting these funky little stars out and going there. So the reason why I'm doing these stars is honestly, it's because this is going live on July the 4th. And here in the States, July the 4th, that's our Independence Day. And, stars are kind of like the big symbol for Independence Day. And so even though this is not a July 4th page, because all of the cool July 4th pictures that I've got, I've actually already scrapbooked, and I don't want to scrapbook them again. And I'm also doing this in June, so it's not like I've got my new July 4th pictures out, but that's all fine. But I did feel like it would not be right of me to post a page that didn't have stars on it on July the 4th. So that's why I am going with these funky little stars for this page. So I'm getting the picture of my daughter. I'm trying to figure out what to do here, so I apologize. I wanted to put a little color on the background of this page, and I thought, oh, I'll just do the packaging technique again. And like I did the other day, last week, and it came out really, really good. And then this time, I think I must have been rushing or something because it did not come out the way I wanted it to. So I was just trying to get it somewhat. And finally, I was like, you know what, this isn't right. And so then also, to not waste a sheet of paper, I just made sure that was dry and I flipped it over, and voila, clean white cardstock. So since I've got stars, I figured I will just do splatters on here instead, because, it's always kind of galaxy looking, and just a little bit of something. So this would be the only thing other than the main kit that I added in, was just some basic pink ink out of my stash, nothing too exciting. You could use any color you wanted, or from any color kit if you had one, just to put splatters on the back of your page. So then I'm using these stickers, and I really loved this one. Here's the story. Now, I didn't put the story on the page. I'm just actually gonna cut it out. But because I didn't want it to be like flat on my paper, when I stuck it down, I put it on something else, and then so that the adhesive would not be holding it down, because I did want it to be something that came up off the page. So I'm doing that also with this little tag that came off of the same sticker sheet. And on that one, I'm actually going to just use the bottom. I kind of feel like when I do main kit only pages that they actually come out pretty clean and simple. Not necessarily like the cleanest and the most simple of any page, because there are some incredible scrapbookers that I've seen over the years that I've done this that are true clean and simple scrapbookers, and their pages are incredibly gorgeous and I love them. And when I try to recreate their types of pages, I just feel like mine looks stark in contrast. However, the main kit only pages for me, I feel like are very clean and simple for how I typically scrapbook. I'm not the messiest scrapbooker out there. I don't, I feel like I'm just kind of like in the moderate of just about everything. But, these are more, I do love embellishments. I try to use as many as possible. But when it's a main kit only page, it's kind of, I don't know, just kind of nice to be able to say, you know what, the page is finished. It looks nice. It's clean. It's simple. It has my story. It has my photo, and I can just move on. There have been plenty of times where I've been scrapbooking and I just sit there and I'm like, okay, I need more stuff on this page. And luckily with the main kit only pages, I don't have to have that worry, because when it's done, it's just done. So title's on the page, my daughter's initials are on the page. The splatters are still a little wet in places, but I'm ready to go ahead and get all of these little stars adhered down. So I'm just going to be really careful and make sure that I don't drag my fingers or anything across any of the wet splatters, so that then I'd have a smudge mark. I don't want any of that. I was going to just try also to not use the silver foam like phrases and stuff. I was just going to use the little stars off of that sheet, but that sun, the word sun, oh, I just love that I had to have it on there. And actually, I really like mixing the letter stickers and then this word sticker. I think together it works so perfectly. I was really excited about that. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of journaling about my daughter, loving the beach life, and then adding some of these little circle star puffy stickers here and there. I did after this kind of go back and look to see what else I could add to this page, and I was like I said before, I like to add things, and so it's a little bit more difficult when you are limited in your supplies. But you know what, honestly, I love the way that this came out. It's just simple. It has the story. It's light and airy, which is what I was going for. So, and it has the stars on it. So there is a close-up of the page, and then here's some of the details. Anyhow, guys, make sure you head over to HipKit and grab one of the June 2019 HipKits and check out the July ones, because they are about to, I think we just released what they look like. So thanks for stopping by. Bye.